Folks at McFarlane Toys take their role as premier makers of action figures very seriously. Founded by Spawn creator Todd McFarlane, they started with the alternative comic book hero and have blown up into a creative empire that includes figures from movies, sports, and even video games.
What Todd's vision is to take those characters out of that game and bring them to life in the real world. You can do them fairly realistically, especially if you look at the musculature and you look at the drapery and things.
A lot of times we're developing the figures simultaneously to where the game companies are. So we need to work very closely with them and obtain from them the best reference that they have at the time when we're developing it. And sometimes we actually have to go in and do some design elements beyond what they've done. And in fact, in a case like Soul Calibur, we've done that and then provided it back to them so that they've actually matched what we've done into the game.
It becomes a case of the life of the game imitating the art of the action figure. At McFarlane Toys, they put all of their heart into the new figures for Soul Calibur.
We're working on 5 characters. 4 of them are developed by the game designers themselves. One of them we developed. That's kind of the secret character. We can't divulge that one right now. But they're going to be a bit of a departure for us because we're going to make them smaller to emulate the type of product that's being made in Japan right now.
Collectors might also be interested in what it takes to make a great action figure based on a video game. It's a blend of artistry, realism, and the concept of remaining true to the spirit of the game.
Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid is a good example because we had some very good paintings of all the characters. And what we wanted to do is take those characters and, how do I make this guy look kind of realistic to bring him to life, to pull him out of the game. But you don't want to completely abandon the feel that the game creates.
Another issue to consider is retaining the sense of movement of a character. With the line created for Onimusha, McFarlane Toys had a high score in that department.
I felt that Onimusha, we really had satisfied a lot of different design issues as far as how the figures were articulated and yet still maintain that ground zero pose that Todd always likes to find, the pose that clearly defines the character. And yet we were able to articulate it so we could get into a lot of different poses that made sense, that weren't, just points of articulation, but really worked as far as achieving typical martial arts poses.
So it's way more than having kung fu grip or lifelike hair. At McFarlane Toys, a ton of research and mock-ups happen before there are any feet of clay being created.
Generally what we'll do is take a look at all the information we're given and put together a whole bunch of movement sketches, find the best ones, and then start to look at which ones are developing the best 3D when we start putting them into clay. Then we take it into a harder wax. We begin finishing things, fine detailing things. That goes to our prototyping shop. They'll make molds and castings. That goes up to the shop where they pin them together. They make all the weapons. Then they go to paint and go through the same process of evaluations to find the right colors. You're either matching paint chips from a book or from a video game.
This here looks like it's more metallic, like darker.
Obviously, there are high-tech components involved in developing and manufacturing the action figures of today, but there's no denying the made-by-hand element of yesteryear.
There's a certain amount of hand-painted detail that's added at the end in terms of, painting eyes or maybe painting lips on the females or rivets. So there's certain people sitting on the manufacturing line that may just be painting eyeballs all day long.
If you want to design an action figure, you need to follow quite a few rules of the articulated thumb. But when you're dealing with Todd McFarlane, the rules and the molds are made to be broken.
When Todd came into this industry, he'd look at him and say, well, I want deeper lines in here and I want an undercut coming around the side of the torso. And people would say, well, you can't do that. And he'd say, why? So what we've worked on over the years working with Todd is looking at things and finding new ways and new materials to use in the process so that we can get what he's looking for.
So when you're done playing with your favorite video game, go and check out the action figure counterparts at a store near you.